So what I'm going to be teaching here is how to do the stun loop with Guardian Ape. Guardian Ape is, especially phase 1, is a pain in the ass for a lot of people because it's just kind of all over the place. With Guardian Ape, he has a poise of 400. Every R1 at this point, meaning like on the ground doing full damage R1, will do 40 poise damage. If you jump at him, I believe it does 20, but don't do jumping hits. They're just weak anyway. It's just poor form, I guess. Well, for advanced stuff, I guess it actually has a purpose. When you do a mortal draw, it does a lot more to it. I don't know the math offhand. I don't really want to pull up debug right now to do it, but basically 2 mortal draws will put him in that vulnerability or stagger state, which you'll see right here. So the best thing right here is to just at some point lock onto him, and you can just leave it locked on the entire time. And then from there, you want to do a jumping mortal draw into him, and then it's follow-up. So 2 mortal draws, basically. So here we go, we're locked on, we jump, mortal draw 1, mortal draw 2. And as you can see how he went flying up in the air, and he's like in a total stagger state. At this point, he's in the vulnerability state, or I don't know what it's really called, honestly, but I call it the vulnerability state because he takes a ton of poise damage. Every R1 hit that you do will do 180 poise damage to him. This doesn't matter if you're AP1, if you're using Akko, using Yash, or anything like that. It doesn't matter. It's the poise damage is always the same for this boss, at least probably all the other bosses, but again, I have to verify that data. So from here, we want to do 2 hits, which will put basically, it'll be, the first one will do 180, then the second one will do 360 total. At that point, there'll be 40 poise damage left, but we have to wait for him to get out of the vulnerability state to hit him again to break his poise again, which you'll see right here. So watch, I'll hit him twice and then wait. And I kind of do the next part a little bit quick, probably almost like nearly frame perfect, but as he starts to get up, you'll see him move his hand. He can run away from you, and you have 25 seconds to actually hit him again to knock him into the stagger state. So you can see how he goes staggered again. He'll go through a few things of like stagger and stuff like that, and then until he eventually goes to that entire vulnerability state where that big animation where he raises his hand and come back down. Which is right there. You can see him, you can definitely do 100% staggers. He's hard to hit because he's falling down and stuff like that, and he stands up like a bear rearing up. At that point, in the loop, I'll let it run through. You hit him twice again, pause, and then go through the whole thing over and over again. 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, pause. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and that is the stagger loop. That's it. It's really, really simple. The most important part is getting 2 hits in. Getting 2 hits in on that stagger loop. And from there, any 1 hit outside of that whole, or 2 hits in on the vulnerability part, outside of that, that's it. So you can just hit him one more time and he goes back into the whole thing and just loop it really around. And his poise doesn't decrease like every other Dark Souls game. It just, as a 25-second timer, if you touch him at all, it'll just reset the 25-second timer. So you have 25 seconds of him running around before you hit him again. So I'll show you another way how we do it in speedruns if you want to learn how to do like a faster way. This is much more difficult and stuff like that. It takes a lot of practice because you got to aim where your mortal draw goes. But you can see how really effective this is. In this one, I also use Yash. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner with the Yashiriko. I get that from Monk, from going through the Monk area first. My attack power is basically Goyobu, Geni, monkeys, monk, so that's attack power 5 when I do this. And I also use the jumping mortal draw, and then I also just aim for the head, so the entire battle is unlocked. So as you can see how this works. This is kind of something after your 20th playthrough you want to strive for. So we use the grapple to get a better advantageous point to hit him with the head. Hit him in the head with the mortal draw. As you can see here, the jumping mortal draw, smacks him in the head once, hit him twice, and you can see how much poise damage is already done already. Each headshot after this will do double damage, and then having the Yashirikus on top of it too will help them. And that's it. So, if you have any comments or questions or any other bosses that you're really interested in wanting me to do, let me know. I can go into technical breakthrough. Really, it's kind of doesn't matter how much health he really has. You just kind of blast him through, but you can do a single phase throughout the entire time. So, thank you, and we'll probably make another video later tonight, I guess.